to the New York Football Giants, who, I mean, Dave Gettleman never trades, and he traded down in the draft. How did you feel about this Giants draft class?
He traded down a couple of times.
I know, unbelievable.
I think the Giants, I think they did a good job overall, but there is a bit of risk here. First, they trade from 11 to 20 and let the Chicago Bears move up to get Justin Fields. They're sitting there at 20. All signs point to 𝗬𝗢𝗡𝗜𝗓 because they need an edge rusher. He's a guy that will fill a need. He's a terrific player. 𝗬𝗢𝗡𝗓 at 20 is great value. And then they take Kadarius Toney, the receiver from Florida, a lot earlier than people think. I got my concerns about the Kadarius Toney pick. I like him as a player, but he's more of a gadget player. And two things. Number one, we've seen in the past Jason Garrett, when he was the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, doesn't really know how to, or I don't want to say doesn't know how to, really didn't use that type of player to the maximum. He had Tavon Austin with Dallas. He really didn't do anything with him. So I'm concerned from that point of view. The other thing I'm concerned about is you got to remember, Kadarius Toney, while he was making all these great plays or showing all his playmaking ability on the college level, the opponent's top defenders were not focused on Kadarius Toney. They were focused on Kyle Pitts. Week after week, the Gator opponents were putting their top defensive backs, whether it be Alabama with Patrick Surtain, whether it be South Carolina with J.C. Horn, whether it be Georgia with Stokes and Campbell. They were placing those guys. They were putting them man-to-man against Kyle Pitts, which opened some things up for Kadarius Toney. You know, I think as far as I'm concerned, we'll see how Kadarius Toney does compared to 𝗬𝗢𝗡𝗓 moving forward. They may have answered the question in round 2 with Azeez Ojulari. Azeez Ojulari is one of my favorite players in this year's draft. I had him graded as a top 15 choice. He's a guy who was good in 2019, outstanding in 2020. He's got great upside, but he does have a degenerative knee condition. Now, it's something that hasn't bothered him in years. It's something that he didn't miss games at Georgia because of, but it's something when teams look at these sort of things when it comes to combine medicals, they're looking at, will a guy last to his second contract? Will he be a second contract player? If the answer is no, or the answer is maybe, they're downgraded anywhere from a round to 2 rounds, which is what happened with Ojulari. The bottom line is this: Ojulari is a perfect fit for the Giants defense, and he's an outstanding pass rusher, and he's got great upside. So if that quote-unquote degenerative knee issue never rears its ugly head, this was a home run for Dave Gettleman. I mean, this is something that Pick Giant fans will remember fondly for years. I thought Aaron Robinson in round 3 was an outstanding selection. He's big, he's physical, he's better making plays, facing the action, but he's going to be your nickel back, I think, in zone or occasionally lined up over the slot receiver. I thought Ellerson Smith in round 4 was another really good pick, a guy who came into the season graded as a 3rd-round pick by scouts, a little bit smallish in 2019, didn't play in 2020 because Northern Iowa postponed their season to the spring. Had 3 great days of practice at the Senior Bowl at 277 pounds. I'm surprised he fell into the 4th round. But again, I think with Ojulari and Ellerson Smith, the Giants will find their edge rusher that they desperately need. You know, the Giants made a couple more trades for picks for next year, which I think was a good move. Come away in round 6 with Darius Williams of Oklahoma State, another real good player, someone who's shown flashes throughout his Oklahoma State career. He didn't elevate his game the way I thought or hoped in 2020. He ran better than expected during his pro day workout. I think you're looking at a potential dime back here if he makes the active roster, which I think is a real possibility.
And then the Giants, 3 UDFAs. Are there any that really stood out to you?
No. I mean, maybe I like Raymond Johnson of Georgia Southern. I mean, he was a tough, hard player and a guy who got the most from his ability. But I actually like Raymond Johnson more as a defensive end in a 4-man front. I don't know that he's going to be a good fit for the Giants sort of 3-4 system. But, you know, on those occasions where they line up 4-man fronts and they have 4 guys coming out of a 3-point stance, I think Johnson could flourish if he's given the opportunity this summer in camp.